Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 2022 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. Up front is a 3.6 liter twin turbo V6, and down below is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, I am super excited to be driving this CT4-V Blackwing for several reasons. First of all, it's been a little while since I've driven a CT4-V Blackwing. I think that this is a fantastic car, and I'm excited to share with you why that is. But the second reason is that Cadillac has been making waves as of recent. They have committed to continue to build the CT4-V and the CT5-V, as well as next year, they are getting into more motorsport with their entry into Formula 1. And so we're going to be talking a lot about all of that here today, and why this car is special, but more importantly, the brand Cadillac. But if you'd like to submit your own vehicle and have it reviewed here on the channel, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. And if you'd like to see all my videos weeks or sometimes months in advance, you can head on over to my Patreon for only $5 a month. Last but not least, huge thank you to Low Mile Cars here in Burr Ridge, Illinois, for letting me borrow their CT4-V Blackwing for today's video. They always have cool and interesting inventory, of course, all having low mileage, so please go check them out with the link in the description below. But let's get back to that 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 under the hood. Well, that is what makes the Blackwing special. Although we do get bigger brakes and other things like that, the V6 twin turbo is the crown jewel. Now, its older brother, the CT5-V Blackwing, actually comes with a supercharged V8. So this is the little sibling, but don't count it out. I think it makes very healthy amount of horsepower that I'll put up on the screen now, and it offers a very thrilling experience. Oh, you feel it right in your chest. The twin turbo means that it doesn't have much lag, and it's still pretty punchy. Although it might not be the top dog, it gets the job done every single time, and I personally really like that. You can really tell with this engine that Cadillac was trying to go after the BMW crowd, and honestly, comparing this to a 3 or 4 Series BMW, I think that they're right there. Like I said, paired to it is a 10-speed automatic transmission. Blah, 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 no one cares, because you can get these in a 6-speed manual. Now, they are very rare of the CT4-Vs I've driven. I have not driven the manual yet. However, I will continue my search, and I will fight another day. But you could get these in manual. In terms of manual American sedans, this and the CT5-V Blackwing are the only options still available. The Chevy SS is gone. Dodge Charger is gone. This stands alone in that pursuit. Last but not least, of course, the CT4-V Blackwing is rear-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the CT4-V Blackwing? Well, it's actually really nice. Around town, at slow speeds, when you're not pushing it to the max, it's nice, it's quiet, and it offers that Cadillac experience. Part of that is due to the MagneRide suspension for the CT4-V Blackwing, which will dynamically change as you drive and through the drive mode. So in tour mode, it's gonna be cushy cozy. It's gonna be like your grandpa's Cadillac that everyone grew up in. But when you put it into sport or V mode, it's gonna get stiff as a rock, and it's gonna corner like it's on rails. And so for that fact, GM's MagneRide stays on top for its duality. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster. I really like this. I think it's relatively simple. It's a little bit busy, but at the end of the day, you can also customize it. It gives you great information, and I don't have any complaints. On the steering wheel, on the left, we do have our adaptive cruise control, as well as heated steering wheel and our V button. This will put it into performance modes. Really, really love this. And off to the right, we have some selectors, skip track, volume, but then we also have our traction control or performance traction switch. So you could put it into wet mode, dry, sport, or race modes. Very, very cool, and although it might be just a touch gimmicky, it makes you feel cool when you're hitting all the steering wheel buttons. Off to the left, we do have a climate control vent, power parking brake, gauge dimmer switch, and our head-up display info button. And moving on to the door, we have our memory seat options, lock and unlock our AKG speaker system, power mirrors, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do get a rather small by modern standards infotainment display. Now, I personally like the smaller infotainment display. I like the more driver-oriented feeling. And you do have pretty simple things like Apple CarPlay, but you also have a PDR, which is the performance data recorder or data recorder. And this actually operates with the dash camera, and it will record your lap times, your lateral G, speed, RPM, all these really cool and interesting things. Here's a clip of it when I used it on the C8 Corvette, and that same system is found here. Then we do have a home button out in the middle of nowhere, 2 climate vents, and our climate controls. Love the physical climate controls. I think these work really well. I think they look great, and I'm happy about it. We also have heated and ventilated seats, our parking sensors on and off, lane keep assist on and off, and hazard switch, wireless charger, and the shifter. Now, of course, I would love if this were a manual shifter, but I can't have that here today. Down below, we have the volume, skip track, and our scroll wheel. This is for the infotainment if you don't want to use the touchscreen. And we have cup holders off to the right, but you already know that they fail the big friggin' bottle test. Want to the wah. Then we do have some buttons down below for our auto holding brake, traction control off, and our mode button. So this is for the drive mode as well. So you can use the steering wheel button or this button down below. Kind of weird that they have it in 2 locations. Then we do get a center console, USB-A as well as USB-C found in there. And the seats. Now, I really like the seats. I think that they're an interesting style and very un-Cadillac to have 3 different colors in their seats. Now, I know back in the 70s with the Barrettes, they had the comfiest seats that I've ever tested in the 1978 Eldorado Barrettes, and that had 2 colors. So this is 3 colors now, really upping their game and upping the ante for Cadillac. But I think that they look really fun. They look presentable. They have that bucket style seating, so I am sitting relatively low in the car, and I like that. It adds to that performance feel. However, something that I don't like are the back seats, so let's hop back there and do a back seat review. All right, here we go. Getting in. Ugh. All right. Not good. This is my driving position, and my head's hitting the ceiling. My knees are hitting the seat in front of me. This is a sedan, and I talked about how, I'm so happy that they still make a sedan. Oh, sedans. Yeah, this sucks. If I put my head back, there is this bump. If I sit up more straight, I get a little bit more room, but my head is still hitting the ceiling. I'm 5'11", not a small guy. Clearly, these nice bucket seats are sweet up front, but they really take away a handful of the space. I do have a 12-volt outlet with 2 climate vents back here. We do get fold-down cup holders. This is not a place I would willingly want to be for an extended amount of time. So, yeah. Anyway, not great, not happy about it, but here's the back seat. You know, everyone wants sedans until it's time to get in the back of one. At least this size. The CT4-V is a lot bigger and has a lot better back seat. Let's move on to the trunk. All right, around the back of the CT4-V Blackwing, I do want to note, GM cars turn on their reverse lights when they turn off, and this is extremely infuriating when you're trying to look for a parking spot and you're like, oh, they're backing out, and they're not. The reason that they do this is welcome home lighting. So if you pull in and you don't like park in the garage or something, and you're trying to get your keys out and it's dark, you know, it helps you see at night, get into your house. I understand the theory. I think it's incredibly dumb and misleading. But we do have the key fob here. Double hit it for the trunk, and it will pop up a little bit, and we can go up the rest of the way. Plenty of space here in the trunk. I wish that they would have added a little bit more space into the back seats, but, you know, they put it here. Cadillacs have always had big trunks, and they keep that tradition alive. We do have some storage down here, some filler things and tow hooks and whatnot, but nothing too crazy. Oh, it looks like we could pick up that. Okay, Not much more. Okay, well, there it is. That is the trunk in the Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I think this car hits it out of the park when it comes to the exterior looks. But I think it looks killer. I think the white looks great, and the daytime running lights on these are just wonderful. I think that they still look great, and it's just overall, it's such a sinister looking sedan. Even if it might not be the top dog, it might not be the cannibalistic V8 under the hood, it's still mean, it's still fun, and it's still aggressive, which I like to see from Cadillac. With all of that being said, let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the 2022 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing? Well, I love this car, and I will continue to love this car. The CT4-V Blackwing is so good, and honestly, it's not terribly out of budget for a lot of people. I'm not saying it's affordable, but it's an option, and a more affordable option than the CT5-V, so there you go. I think the biggest thing that I like about this car is what it means to Cadillac. Throughout the 2000s and 2010s, Cadillac was kind of going on a downward trend, at least in my own opinion. Sure, they had the CTS-Vs, which were great, and they had ATS-Vs, but they kind of fell by the wayside for a little bit. They introduced the V-Series, which kind of, to me, felt like a knockoff, and then overall, they started the SUV and electric craze. Cadillac has been pumping out EVs faster than almost any other electric brand. Not only do they have the Lyriq, which I loved and reviewed, but they just released the Optic and the electric Escalade. And there's another one that I'm forgetting, the Celeste? I think the naming system is dumb. But Cadillac is really investing into SUVs and electric SUVs, which the enthusiast doesn't really like, although they do sell relatively well. And I would be upset with Cadillac if that was the only thing that they did, if they had completely forgotten their sedan roots and went that route. But they didn't. And this car is clear evidence of that. They're still committed to combustion engines. They're still committed to heart-pumping fun cars that they started in the mid-2000s with the 2005 Cadillac CTS-V. And as a big Formula One fan myself, next year, 2026, Cadillac is throwing their hat in the ring to be the 11th team on the grid. Now, I know that Cadillac participates in a lot of other racing series, but they've been in those series for quite some time. It really means something when they venture out and spend millions, if not, it might be billions of dollars to get into a new sport. If you're planning to get rid of your sports cars, you don't do that. You don't spend a whole lot of money for nothing, and the chicks for free. So these cars, the CT5-V and CT4-V, with Cadillac investing in Formula One is such a great thing to see as an enthusiast. This is Cadillac willfully saying, yes, we love burning fossil fuels through turbocharged and supercharged engines, and we're not going anywhere. And that is an amazing thing to see. I am so excited for the future of Cadillac. And 10 years ago, I'm not sure I would have said that on camera. But today, I'm firmly saying it from the seat of a CT4-V Blackwing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Low Mile Cars here in Burr Ridge, Illinois for letting me borrow their CT4-V Blackwing for today's video. I've reviewed a bunch of their cars. They have really, really awesome inventory. Again, all low mileage, under 100,000 miles. They have some really cool gems. I drove a Dodge Dakota that only had 19,000 miles on it. Absolutely fantastic. Please go check them out with the link down in the description below, and I appreciate them for making today's video possible. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys. To really add insult to injury, I child locked myself in the back of the CT4-V Blackwing. Come on! Come on!